But now let's go on to my man's John Cena. I pulled up two clips. I pulled up two clips. One is only 8 minutes, and the other one is it's another 9 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah. So let me pull this one up first. There. All right, cool. Let's see what they talked about. Which, by the way, shout out to Club Shay Shay. It's my Uncle Shannon Sharpe. He always doing good things. The year 2024 with Cat Williams. It's been hot.
73 million views in 7 months.
Oh yeah, it's been hot. All right, let's go.
Triple H said, "You're the GOAT." I had Ric Flair on here. He said Shawn Michaels is the GOAT. Who's John Cena GOAT of WWE?
Gosh, that's a good question. I think that's what's interesting. I can name my top 4 hip hop artists because I have no skin in the game.
Yeah.
This is a tough one to answer because I have so much professional respect for.
Guess what his Mount Rushmore hip hop is?
Who?
Cena.
What's his Mount Rushmore of hip hop?
It's typical, but it's typical, but it's not bad. I like it. Jay-Z,
Okay.
Lil Wayne. No, take it back. Jay-Z, Eminem, Nas, and Rakim.
Nas, Rakim, and Jay-Z, and you say who else? Eminem.
Eminem. That's not the Rakim pick is not a bad one, so I'll give him credit for that. That's a good Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. Malcolm. Go ahead.
Cena ain't the GOAT. Stop it. We're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Malcolm, you don't think Cena not the GOAT, man?
16. He is literally tied with the other GOAT. So we're not doing it.
Cena put in work. You gotta remember before we get more deeper into this video, after the Attitude Era, after let me see. Cena picked up. I don't want to. It's gonna be tough.
He picked up Big Show and Edge. I was there in person.
No, not that. I'm just he. I don't want to use the term he held the company on his back, but for a long time, bro, you got to. He
was the face of the company. The face of the company.
He was the face of the company. He wasn't no Austin like carrying the company on his back. Because to even talk about how Austin carried the WWE on his back for those years, especially throughout the WCW reign, that was a fucking story to tell. But Cena, man, he was the face of the company. Every kid in America was jumping up and down when with the whole "you can't see me" thing. Yep. So yeah, Cena's the GOAT, man. He earned it. He put in that work. He had some damn good matches too. Him, Lesnar, him and Orton, man. Him and Edge. A whole bunch of men. Him and Edge. Yeah, the Edge match was fucking amazing as well. Yeah. Him and Taker, all of that good shit.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, Cena did some damn good shit.
JBL called him Big Match John, and he earned that title.
Yeah. Damn, my opinion. She says, real quick, I go back to Coco Beware to about attitude, then starting to getting to entertaining for me. Other Hawk LMS still down. I don't know what you mean by that. Damn.
Elaborate, because I want to know what you mean by that.
Yeah. Jay Will says if you set your expectations to Rock versus Roman at the next year's Mania, you're going to be disappointed. I don't know. Pushing for it though. They really are pushing for it. I understand the Cody thing, but you gotta remember how marketing works. Him and Cody had that thing already last Mania. Now it would be great to do a him and Roman thing this Mania. Then maybe you can do it. Now we getting into like theologies and shit. Now it can be Roman and Cody after Roman and Rock, or it could be a breakup, a run-in, bloodline. I don't know. It's so many things that go with it.
What people are pushing for is because they adapted War Games. So what they want to do is a civil war between the bloodline. One team is the The Rock. The other team is Solo. Roman. And the question is, who's going to be on Roman's team? Are you going? Can my guy main event is in the building? Salute to you, my brother. So you're going to have what? Roman probably a reuniting the Usos. And I don't know who's the other person you want to add to that. Whereas Rock's team, you got Solo, you got Jesus, forgot their name already.
Yeah, it's so many.
Tamatonga and Tonga.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have those two plus Jacob Fatu. So yeah, they wanted to do. Everybody wants there to be war games, and that could be your Survivor Series main event. So which could ultimately lead to the Roman versus The Rock at WrestleMania. Not to say Roman can't fight Solo Sikoa at Royal Rumble, because he did do that before. He wrestled and then he went to go do the Royal Rumble. I was there in attendance when he did that for Royal Rumble 20. He wrestled Baron Corbin first that night, and he wrestled later on that night for the men's Royal Rumble. So he could definitely do it. It's very much possible.
Jay Will says no wrestler was about to draw more money than Stone Cold. I have to look at the numbers on that. I think when it comes down to who draw, as far as who brought in most money, I think it would go Hogan, Stone Cold, The Rock. What do I want to put The Rock over Taker? Hogan, Stone Cold. Huh?
Who was the money draw back then?
Well,
but see,
I mean,
it's hard to say that because you had options of wrestlers that could do it as a collective.
Yeah,
you might have had some options during Cena's era, because it was Cena, maybe a couple other wrestlers. And if I had to go based off of what Paul Heyman said, nobody has drawn more than Roman, historically speaking.
Yeah, true. Rocky says technically Cena was more marketable than Stone Cold.
That is correct.
Think so.
That is correct. Nope.
You believe
He's
so?
absolutely right. He's absolutely right, because in the Attitude Era was the Attitude Era. You don't really care about marketing because people are going to come anyway. But in the PG era, where you're trying to, the company's going public, you want to gain more audience, you need somebody clean cut. That was John Cena's character.
Okay.
So he was very much marketable to children, to sponsors, household name amongst family. So
but then
never turned heel. And when he went good, babyface, he never turned heel after that.
Yeah, but you got to look at something like with Stone Cold. This man drew TV money and pay-per-view money. I don't know how many pay-per-views Cena has been in, but I can remember quite a few pay-per-views that Stone Cold has been in. I can remember, those, you got to remember, Stone Cold was hot every day of the week for 3 years straight, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because that was the rise of the Attitude Era and the rise of wrestling, especially going on cable television and eventually going on basic television as well.
Yeah, and then it all went bad when they call it the famous he took his ball and went home moment. But that's because they wanted Stone Cold to do a job for Brock Lesnar, and Stone Cold was like, no, and it was over. And he hurt the company a lot when he did do that.
Yeah, him and been saying top for months behind that.
Most definitely. Brother is in the building. What's happening, brother? What else we got before we get back to our video? What's that? Is that a super chat or is that no subscriber? Thanks for the new subscriber. Much appreciated. Jay Will says that's not true. Stone Cold was marketed to middle lower class America. The rating during the Attitude Era were the highest in the history. See, that's what I'm saying.
You couldn't beat. Yeah, no, I agree. It was the highest during during that era. I would definitely agree with that. But as far as who's more marketable, you got that depends. Now you're talking about people like us. Not to say we don't like John Cena, but we missed that Attitude Era So yeah, it
Yeah.
was easy to bring me Stone Cold, bring me The Rock, bring me Triple H. Who else back in the day? Man, they had some heavy hitters. Bring in
Hell,
Mark
DX.
Henry, Godfather, Undertaker, and
Yeah.
all these Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys, all of them. Bring all of them.
Edge,
Yeah,
Christian,
exactly.
the Brood, all of those guys. Yeah.
Right, right. That's era. You can market to us. We're gonna
Mm,
pull up regardless.
right.
But when you transition into the PG era, now the question is, can you get the same audience? You're not going to get the same audience technically, but you're going to. The question is, can you get more audience than you had before? And you can
Yeah.
get more audience with a PG crowd versus a
Hmm.
rated R crowd.
Wally says again, what bigger, lower middle class or kids? I'll wait. Well, that's the thing. You got to remember in the PG era, that was where a lot of that money came from because that's when more kids, because of the PG era, they went public. I think I would say COVID kind of hurt the business a little bit, but they worked their way around it, just like every other sports entertainment company.
Mhm.
But during the PG area, that's when more kids got involved because they took out a lot of things that they was doing during the Attitude Era. Now, during the Attitude Era, you got to remember you had the Kurt Angle run, Stone Cold run, Rock run, Triple H run, DX run. Christian the Edge was doing something. The Hardy Boys was doing something. Undertaker was doing something. Kane came into the building.
Yep,
It
Kane.
was a whole. Kane came in, and when Kane came into the building, that just pushed Undertaker up way even because that was the brother story.
And don't
And
forget
then
about
Brock Lesnar,
Mankind, Big Foley. Yep.
right? So the Mankind Undertaker match, the Hell in a Cell, Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, that match was amazing. Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair, that match was amazing. It's so much that happened during that era. Go ahead.
And also, I just remember when WrestleMania 25 was in Houston, ESPN did a special E60 on WrestleMania. I think they called it King of the Rings, and there's a formal way that Vince calls wrestling greatest theatrical something. Now and then they clicked to Hulk Hogan like, why the set of change? Because he had to tell them like, see, back in the day, it will be the man with the beard, the cigar. They come, they watch wrestling, and it's cool. So it was cool to get that. But when you transition to the PG era, now that you get to bring your girls to the match, to the wrestling events. Now you bring your kids. Now you bring the kids and their friends. And now you see all these money pile in. So Vince made a right business decision. The question is, who are you going to market this? You can't put Stone Cold at the forefront of the PG era. You can't put the Rock that we grew up on. You can't put these guys there, but you have to put somebody there, and that's where John Cena came into play.
Yeah, and so even in that regard, that's why I say John Cena, when he get that GOAT status, when he stepped up, and I mean stepped up, he stepped up to the plate and he hit home runs out the motherfucking park. He did a damn good job at that. So let's get back to this right quick.
All right.
So many names.
Mhm.
Like, I have so much respect for Rick, like an ungodly amount of respect for Rick. And
If you're my age or close to my age, he's it.
And then if you're my age and you, one, are able to compete with him and perform with him, and two, when you're around Rick and you listen to what those matches were, his travel schedule, the sacrifices he made, the investment he had, his passion, that's like, whoa, man, you are fucking all about this.
Mm-hmm.
But as I'm also enamored by the business side.
Yes.
And I don't think there's a better breathing example of what's the best the business has ever been than Roman Reigns.
Okay.
And it's amazing that I'm saying a still active talent with years in front of him is the greatest of all time. Wow. But he's been in it since 2012. I had to work my way up. I started on the bench and then got onto the Saturday program and then just lost every match. He came in with the Shield in a really high level spot and never wavered. Even when the fans didn't like him, he was still in a main event spot.
Go ahead.
He's I don't remember John Cena during those Saturdays matches, unless they're those ones that happen on that's recorded on Tuesdays and they don't get aired to the weekend. But for him to say that Roman is the greatest of all time, um, I can see that because,
I can't.
like, on the business side
Mm-hmm.
and the fact of how he carried and Drew McIntyre as well. I'm not putting GOAT status on Drew McIntyre, but regarding Roman,
Mm-hmm.
when you carry the company on your back during a pandemic and how you did it, I I understand why John Cena would say that. I will give that into some level of considerations. Why that's John Cena say that's the GOAT. Now you could obviously say everybody needs a GOAT of this era. Like in NBA, LeBron James is the GOAT. And prior to that, you can go to Michael Jordan. Now, is LeBron better than Michael Jordan? The answer is no. 6 rings versus over 4 rings, obviously. So I understand because you don't want to be that old guy to say, "Oh, my generation was better." No, in this generation, he said it has to be Roman Reigns, and I can respect that for this era. Overall, you I might be able to count on one hand how many matches he had in the last 3 years, respectfully. But I understand why John Cena said that.
Hold on for a second. I gotta address my man's Wally. Wally, what Kenny did in AEW, which was great, but you got to look at NJPW, Kenny Omega. That man was amazing. Trust and believe me. If Kenny made it into the WWE, which I need to look that up and see why he never came to the WWE. But if Kenny came to the WWE, he would be a star. Now, back to this Roman Reigns thing. Let me just be honest with you. I never liked Roman Reigns. Let me tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. I get the character, I get the imaging, I get the story, I get all of that. He has a great ring name, Roman Reigns. He got a great ring name. As far as charisma goes, as far as character building, story building goes, I just don't like him. I think it's like just like what Johnson says, when he came in, he was already on top. Where was like there's never been a build up for Roman. It's always just been Roman's the top dog, and that's just what you need to accept. Well, where's his road work? Where's his record that makes him top dog? I get he had some memorable matches with a few people, but where was like that match that he had with Taker, which Taker should not have been in that ring. But other than that, what has he done to make him top dog? I don't see him as top dog. I just don't. And unfortunately, he's in an era where if you really had to name 15 great wrestlers of this era and go back even one or two eras, those wrestlers don't match up. I hate to say it, but what Undertaker said on Joe Rogan's podcast when he said that this era is kind of soft, I see what he means. But then now you just making Roman the top dog just because he's Roman for what?
Well, who would you put over Roman as a GOAT of this era?
Randy.
That's the last. And Randy Orton is John Cena's era.
Okay. Of this era, is him and Kenny around the same age, or is him and Chris around? Well, how old is Roman Reigns?
40 something. So let me.
He's 39 years old.
Okay.
Wrestlers, 39 years old.
Because
Cody, Drew McIntyre, Keith Lee, Baron Corbin, Famous B. Well, I can just share this instead. It's safe to share.
yeah.
So these are all the wrestlers that's like within the same age group as him. Crimson, Tony Nose, Mike Bennett, Jamie. A lot of these people I don't know.
I know some of these people. They're not. I'm not putting none of them over.
Not even Cody?
Let's see. Cody? No, I can't put Cody over him. No.
Really? Why not?
He just literally won a championship. This is the first world championship in the Rose history. Now I understand his father got screwed.
But look at his body of work leading up to that though.
No, there's a
Remember
buildup.
the
Now
Bullet Club days?
you want to talk about a buildup. Now this is a great buildup from being a mid car, leaving for 7 years, go make a name for yourself on the indie stage to the point where you started an indie company. Now it's a main event company on the realms of no, not John Moxley. Stop it. I like John Moxley, but no, I can't. I can't put I can't put that. Oh, you can say Seth is a go.
Yes, you can.
You know what? I'm glad he
Seth
said Moxley because you can put Seth Rollins in there.
You can put him over Roman.
Oh Jesus!
I would put Seth Rollins over Roman. I just don't like Roman, bro. And it's not because I won't even say that he's a babyface over here. I'll say he's like kind of hybrid. But man, Roman, I just don't see Roman at that level. I don't. His body of work just doesn't add up, and I could be wrong.
Now, I know Wally just hella disagrees. I get it, but let's go through this. And the Shield's one of the greatest factions of WWE history, just based off of Impact alone. So, but let's start with that tree. Off of Impact alone, because they was very much undefeated, and the only ones that can break them up was Seth. But let's just go with that real quick.
I'm gonna let you ride with that.
Hold on. We can get to that. Now, let's start with John Moxley. I like John Moxley. As far as world heavyweight championships, now in WWE he had at least one, thank God. And of course, I gotta look at his career even outside of WWE. AEW, he played a part in that building, especially him versus Kenny Omega. So, as much as great work that John Moxley did, he's a restless wrestler. He would go wrestle in other promotions. I'm not putting him above. I'm not gonna put him above Seth or Roman. Not yet. Come back and get the world heavyweight title. Now let's insert him into these conversations. Now regarding Seth, we're talking about build up because you're right. Roman was a slow build up, and he kind of lost the crowd. And forgive me for what I'm about to say. He didn't get the crowd back until he got diagnosed with leukemia for the second time around. And we're all happy that he's here to tell the story, by the way. So his build-up was organic. It was a real life situation. But as far as it being wrestling, objectively speaking, I cannot put Roman over Seth Rollins. I can't.
As long as you put Roman down once, I'm happy.
Yeah, I can't put. I objectively cannot put Seth because let's go to it. For him coming in with the Shield, betraying the Shield, working with the Authority, then obviously unfortunately tearing his ACL during the match, to come back and go through his run that he did.
Yeah.
To leave and then decided to revamp himself. He took a chance with that because these outfits are pretty damn flamboyant. Like I still don't forget what he wore last year at WrestleMania 39.
And that's putting it nicely.
Yes, I do not forget. You are not supposed to dress better than your wife.
Hey, make sure when you do the edit, make sure you include that.
I hate because it was after WrestleMania. It was me, Wally, main event. I found that picture. dude looking like Chippendales. That pissed me. I'm gonna calm down. Because as a man, there's just certain things you're not supposed to. Let me relax. So when he decided to reinvent himself, I will admit his first outfits. If you guys go back to when he came back to the Thunderdome and started with this new thing, I liked his suits. I'm a suit guy. He was doing great. Then it went a little bit too bold. I was like, all right. But regardless of that, he stayed true to himself. He stayed true to character. And what's great about him is he started off as a heel. And this is the best. This is how you know you're doing something right. Where you can remain in character and you could transition from heel to babyface.
Yeah.
So or heel to like an anti-hero. Then you transition to babyface. Seth Rollins has did that much better than Roman has. I have to for this generation, I have to easily give it to Seth Rollins as a GOAT.
Yeah, without question. That as long as it's not Roman, we good.
He's been in a main event lens for over a decade now, and he's brought through his clock, and you could say whatever force has helped it. But in 2012, the stock was trading at $11. WWE or TKO stocks now at 117. Wow. That's on his shoulders. There isn't a better indication of, and I know it's a team effort, nobody does it alone. But like when you say, hey, that to me is like, that's some serious shit. And for me, I got to give her respect where respect is due. And Joe's smart, passionate about the business, multi-generational athlete, has respect for his family, has respect for the locker room, has respect for the business. He's a very, very smart performer and somebody I respect. He would be my greatest of all time.
You follow the path, you get The Rock.
Yep. So Rock would be second because Rock did the same thing in the 90s. But this is the one time I can say this because Rock's numbers are always number one. Roman's numbers have been better than Dwayne's. But I mean, gosh, that's like this.
See, that's not fair. That is not, as much as I would like to agree with him, that reasoning is not fair. Because The Rock was a prisoner of the era that he wrestled in. Where back then, I gotta go back to see when WWE went public. But of course, he's gonna have better numbers. But I would say this is where inflation comes in. How much money would the stock be worth now if you was to and take inflation? Will it be more? Will it be just the same level as Roman Reigns? Will it be a little bit more? So I don't know. I don't think that's a fair comparison because it's like obviously.
Yeah, WWE went public October 19th, 1999. So you thinking in the 90s, yeah, Rock was on top, but there's other things that Rock had to compete with. Well, not other things, other people Rock had to compete with during the 90s. Look at all those big names that was in the same era as Rock.
And so he had to compete against WCW too.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was about to bring in. Then when did TNA break out? Because TNA went good for a little bit too.
It did its thing. It did its thing. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. In the 2000s. I just know it was in the 2000s. Well, because that, when I did that video, I know the intro was like it was like early 2000s, basically. It was early 2000s. And TNA was very respectable. That's when I knew who AJ Styles was. That's when I knew who Samoa Joe was. And I believe Xavier Woods was there as well. Jay Lethal, the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels, and him and AJ. Now that was a rivalry right there. So yeah, that happened then. But they were prisoners of their eras. Of course, WWE stock was going to be worth $11 back then, and TKOs is like 117 right now. It's like, of course, I get it, I understand. Which reminds me, I need to put some money into TKO now that I think about it.
For reals. Let's also not forget one of the greatest motherfucking storylines in TNA history, which is one of my favorite, is my man Perk Angle, baby.
Yes.
Perk Angle. Perk Angle was the shit, baby. And listen, that motherfucker did everything. You want to jump off the top of a cage? Bet.
Yep.
You want him to stay longer in the match? Bet. You want him to shorten up a match? No, it ain't happening. That fight, that little I want to call it a scripted MMA fight that he had with Samoa Joe, man, listen, blew the fucking roof off the goddamn building. But Perk Angle, man.
He gave Samoa Joe his first L in TNA because he was undefeated for 14 months.
Yep, he sure was. Listen, that Perk Angle, dog. Listen, get that man about 50 perks and he good.
Yeah.
Batista. When you decided to say, you know what, I'm gonna give this acting thing a try, because Rock wrestled, then went to acting, still wrestles periodically here and there. Batista did the same thing. Batista now, he mainly just does acting. And even Roman Reigns, he's followed in Europe. So what did you have conversations with Rock? Did you have
Pause it.
Did, but
Wally, you might be right about that one. He's the go-to TNA, but let's really think about AJ Styles' resume. That dude got a resume on him from TNA to New Japan Wrestling, all these other indies before he got to WWE. And on it, see, the crazy thing about AJ Styles is WWE alone, he already penciled himself into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that Boneyard match was a shit.
Oh yeah, that was a great match. But now I think about it, because you brought up Jesus. Well, AJ Styles not of this generation. I can still give it to Seth Rollins. But when you talk about GOATs, you got to put AJ Styles in that conversation. Of all time, nobody has a resume. Not too many people have a resume that can compare to AJ Styles.
True.
I think our paths were different.
Okay.
I think, especially with Dwayne, he did WWE and said, I want to do acting.
Okay.
I think with Batista, he also said, I now want to do acting.
Okay.
I got a chance to do acting.
Okay.
And I got a chance early in my career. 2004 was my first movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't go so well. And then I did a bunch of bad movies, but I got those chances because the WWE was opening a studio.
Right.
Again, if life cracks the door open, see what's behind
Yes.
it. So my boss was like, hey, you got to go to Australia to make this movie. Why? Because we were going to do it with Stone Cold and he backed out. When do we film? In a week. Get down there. Okay, let's go.
Right.
That got me kind of run out of the movie business in 2009. And then in the early, like 2010, 11, 12, I was approached with very small roles.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd been playing the same character on TV. Not that I was bored, but this was a chance to be like, hey, do you want to make fun of yourself? Or do you want to be part of this movie where you can dress up as a different character and do different stuff? So I didn't say I was going to go act. I just merely said, yo, there's an opportunity in front of me that I'd like to do. I know why I fucked up in the past because I wanted to be in the ring when I should have wanted to be on set.
Right.
Let's give this thing a try. And when you give it a try, give it a try. Respect the process, respect the long days, respect the multiple takes. It's not live entertainment. There's not 10,000 people screaming your name. Do this for this and do it the best you can. And that's when things start. Good work. I'm a firm believer in good work will get you another opportunity somewhere.
Right.
And that started to happen.
What's the hardest part about auditioning?
Failing. Is the thing. And a lot of the audition process, they're just looking, a lot of it is aesthetic. You know, you see a character in your mind when you read the book, and if the person walks in and they're the spitting image of that character, man, they got a good chance.
Right.
Anyone can be coachable. If I'm a director, I want to think, if I'm your head coach and I see you and I'm like, man, I think with good coaching, I think we can help this talent.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot. That's a lot of the audition process. So the shitty thing is failing a lot. Like it is a business of rejection. In baseball, you get a hit 3 out of 10 times, you make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's an F.
See that, and that okay, and this go about almost done, and that's like I said, the best. CM Punk said this in a I forgot what article or what publication was interviewing him. This was during the whole pipe bomb situation before his match with John Cena at Money in the Bank, because he said how wrestlers are better than the actors that you have right now. And I understand what he said, why he said that, because you get a script, you memorize it to the T, you're invested in it. And on top of that, you get to take your hits, and so you're gonna be looking. So you're going to audition looking like God amongst men, and also you can remember a script. Yeah, when Big Show would do that, Big Show will also be a good draw because I forgot what show. I think it was called Psych on USA Network, the TV show Psych. Big Show was a guest star on it, and they all of them raved how well he was in role. He memorized his lines because they're not expecting much from big, tall, buff guys. But they said, "Oh no, these are intelligent brothers." So wrestlers are exceptional actors. I can say years later, CM Punk is actually right on that one. Now they're not Denzel or anything like that, but they're exceptional actors.
Yeah, they are. Well, you got to remember, and when you're doing live wrestling, everything is on the spot, but you also have to be able to call audibles. And this is
Mm-hmm.
why the Rock and Hogan's match is still one of my favorite of all times, because that the temperature that match started at, where it went to, and how it finished, that had to be called on the fly. You look at other matches that had to be called on the fly, and excuse me, you look at how they adapt to how the crowd works. So even when it comes to movie, like when you have to be in a live setting and you have to make those audibles on the fly, that's one thing. But when you in a scripted thing, I was like, all right, all I gotta do is memorize this piece of paper, get the emotion right, cool. I already got that from acting in front of 10,000 people, damn near 285 nights a year. I can do
Mm-hmm.
this in front of a camera. I'm used to 9 cameras being on me anyway. It's not a problem.
Right.
Yeah. So, but that acting thing, yeah, he's right about that. I want to go to the next clip where he said, where John Cena is talking about surpassing Ric Flair with 16 world titles, which is a big
Yep.
thing. That's a very big thing, and that's another reason why John Cena is considered to be the GOAT.
This
Yep.
is your final year in WWE.
This is it, 2025. This is it, man.
2025.
Yeah.
And so when you look at farewells, I mean, Kobe got a farewell, Kareem got a farewell. I mean, everybody's waiting for LeBron to get his farewell. I think the thing is Tom Brady didn't get that because we didn't really know Tom was going to retire. He just like, okay, I'm done now.
Man, first, I want to pause there. First of all, to hell with Tom Brady. I don't care what no one says. You can put Tom Brady up there and say he got the rent. Well, when you enter the Tom Brady argument, then you got to enter into the LeBron, Kobe, Jordan argument. I don't care how many Super Bowls this man has won. Brittany B, what's going on? Says, what you talking about? Wrestling is real. Exactly, wrestling is real. But let me tell you something about this Tom Brady character. To hell with Tom Brady. Never liked him. He may be a good quarterback, but without that O line and without them wide receivers and that tight end.
Hold
And
on,
that
hold
back in that
on,
foot,
hold on, hold
we're
on.
not about to do this.
I
We're not about
didn't.
to, we're not
Hold
about to
on.
do this.
I didn't like.
Listen.
Them first 3 rings. I did not like. I didn't like Tom Brady neither. But after a while, you just gotta respect greatness for what it is. So I understand. I ain't like the guy neither. I was happy when the Giants beat him the first time around. Trust me, nobody was more happier than me. But you got 7 Super Bowl rings, 5 MVPs to go with it. You got to give him.
He had an O line to protect him. But listen, I'm with Wiley on this one. Let's keep this on wrestling. If we get to talking about football, and listen, as much as I love, if we get to talking about football, we're gonna be here all night. But as far as this is my final word on the football thing, to hell with Tom Brady. That's just that. Now, what's your final words on Tom Brady? So, what's your final words on it?
I'm a buy a jersey and I'm a send it to Detroit.
My mask. Listen, November ain't too far away. I can ask him to add you to that card. Listen, hey, we gonna move on from Tom Brady because I'm telling you that's an argument for me.
What do you hope? What do you want your farewell? What do you want the lasting memories of your last year in the WWE? What do you want that to be?
That's a great question. Personally, I would like to just want it to be worth it. And I don't mean that I won't get value from it. I'll enjoy every second. I just want to justify it. Like I hope it is good for WWE business. I hope it continues to build the future of the brand and company. I hope that the events are satisfying for the audiences. From an audience perspective, I hope everyone can come to these events and either relive memories they might have had over the past 23 years or make new memories, because there's a whole new generation of superstars out there. So if a young kid who is all he's seen in programming is maybe Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, if his dad brings him in and be like, hey, son, 10 years ago, this was the guy.
Right.
And look at him, like he can still go. Like, this is my guy. And the son's like, no, this is my guy. I've heard so many stories from families about like, hey, one time my dad took me to wrestling. We watched you. Now I'm a grown man and I realize that was my way of my dad bonding with me. Thank you for that. So like, if the tour can do that, that's awesome. And I don't see, you have a 0% chance of doing that if you just say, I'm done.
Right.
We're not pure sport. The benefit of what we do is we're sports entertainment.
Amen.
So I can be like, the body doesn't feel, I have a choice. I could hang around for another 10 years and do like a match a year and maybe progressively get worse with my skill set, or take an honest look at myself and be like, I can do like 30, 40 dates this year, make it a thing, tell everybody this is it, which it is, be able to close the chapter in my life, move on to things that I'm curious and enthusiastic about, and hopefully create some moments and let people take away from it whatever they want. I want it to be worth it.
What would it mean for you? You're tied currently with Ric Flair, 16-time world champ, to get number 17. Who would you like to fight? The Rock?
Brandy, I can't stand you. I cannot stand you. Oh my God.
He was invisible on the camera. You can't blame her. The man used to always catch his spell every time he come out. You can't see me. Next thing you know, the nigga just disappeared. And now it's a dude flying all over the ring. Oh shit.
Let's say this. Well, good. The update that we got from this is, I was under the impression that he was gonna wrestle all the way to WrestleMania, and that was gonna be his last match. The good news is he's gonna wrestle all the way to December of next year. So when I find out that they're coming to Houston, yes, me and my son are going. We're definitely gonna go pull up for his last match, just like people pulled up for Kobe's last whatchamacallit.
Everybody pulled up for Kobe's last game.
I'm telling you right now. Let me find out WWE's coming to Houston. And John Cena's wrestling. We're going.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let my son see that one. We are definitely going.
Yeah, without question.
Randy Orton, Logan Paul, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns. Who would you?
Oh yeah, they're about to now. You can go through this. They're about to say who does John Cena's last match want to be? Now we can see. And to be honest, I've been battling that question ever since Money in the Bank. Like who would it be? But we will definitely see.
Who was his greatest feud?
That's between Randy Orton and Edge. I'm not even going to put Triple H in there.
They dare not bring Edge back for WrestleMania. Because if they bring Edge back for WrestleMania, their contract is still his contract is still tied up into AEW. So that's not even a topic of concern. John Cena and The Rock 3. Yeah, because technically, although the second time Rock won the first one, John won the second one, that was for the title. So you can make the argument that you need a third match to determine who's the better wrestler out of those two. I was just about to say, because you got to remember, storyline wise, you got until next year to build this. Storyline wise, what would be on the line, right? We already know that Cena's getting out the game. Rock technically is 1 foot in the game. So to even put them two in the ring is this wouldn't just be a retirement match because this is going to be Cena's last match. What would be on the line? You see what I'm saying? This can't be a retirement match for Rock because it would make no sense if Cena's going to be walking out the door whether he win, lose, or draws. So you would have to put something on the line for that to now. If you just want to say this is just for bragging rights and like, look, you got one, I got one, and we need the third one. Well, that kind of overshadows the fact that Cena won a title up off of him. So even if Rock do win a third one, it's just a match. It's not a title match. You see what I'm saying? So
right, and also in WrestleMania, they had a moment, but Rock got the best of him, and it was real quick. It was a nice moment. It's nice for you guys to get stuck to remember what happened those two WrestleManias. But he took a swing that led to a rock bottom and John Cena out the ring.
it wouldn't make no point. As far as storyline wise, I don't even think Cena really has much of a story in wrestling right now. I mean, did he ever
No.
do anything with Punk? He never did nothing with Cena.
Yes. Matter of fact, the match with Punk, actually, Cena has a bad win-loss record against CM Punk because um, you can go back to Money in the Bank in Chicago, and this was CM Punk's technically last match in WWE. Did not renew his contract. You win, you win as a World Heavyweight champion, which he did. And that kind of went on for a couple of years. Then John Cena finally got a win over CM Punk after Punk lost to The Rock 2 pay-per-views in a row for the heavyweight championship. And so John Cena won the Royal Rumble that year. So one Monday Night Raw, they put it on the line. You win. CM Punk could get a third title shot against The Rock. If Cena wins, I keep my main event spot. Cena did a Hurricane Harana, which was first in his history, and he hit him with the AA, and that was pretty much the end of that feud.
Yeah. I'm with Malcolm on this one. Cena should have turned heel that second round match. Ruthless Aggression Cena was a motherfucker. I don't know. I've always liked heel characters, but I never forget what was the guy's name, the announcer's name. Cena went over to that table, snatched that head, set off up, and beat the living dog shit out of him. Can't remember that dude's name, but I also
JBL?
Nah, I can't play the clip, but Cena beat.
Who did he do that to?
No.
That's a
Michael Cole. He beat the hell out of Michael Cole. It was 2012. He walked over there to that table, snatched.
Oh yeah, because Michael Cole was heel around that time.
Yeah, when he beat the hell. First of all, I don't like Michael Cole anyway. But yeah, the way Cena beat the hell out of him. All right, it's Michael Cole, bro. It's Michael Cole.
He's cool now. And I found out when they cut a promo, he been doing Monday Night Raw or commentating for 26 years, and he only missed 2 episodes. One of them was because of his son's wedding, and I forgot what the other one was. So that's a nice dedication right there.
Yeah, outside of Randy, you can't bring Christian back. It will be no point for him to wrestle The Rock. Roman's already set up. Cody's already set up. He literally has no heat with nobody, and there's literally no other person.
But there's a line
to put in there.
But keep in mind, there's going to be a line of wrestlers who want to fight The Rock. I mean, who want to fight John Cena. You could throw in Austin Theory is going to try to run that back again. You can throw in who else? Obviously, I know him and Cody Rhodes going to go at it at least one time.
Yeah. Lesnar, you can do him and Lesnar because they actually legit had heat at one point. I remember that fight that they had in the ring where everybody thought it was a work, but no, it wasn't a work. That was legit. But that blood that you seen on Cena, that was real. So you could bring that back. I don't even know when's the last time I seen Lesnar in something, but you can make that work.
They're slowly taking their time with Lesnar because they tied up Lesnar with the Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis situation.
Yeah.
So that's why you haven't even seen them. Matter of fact, they took him off of 2K. So they're going to slowly bring
They took
back.
him off?
They took him off 2K, yeah.
What?
And because just him being tied to Vince McMahon and whatever situation that happened behind the scenes, it was just those three names: Vince, John Laurinaitis, and Brock Lesnar. And they elected to remove him from WWE for the time being. But they're going to slowly bring him back.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up offline. I didn't know about that.